Today's Bible lesson is the Bible misogynistic? Many argue that the Bible is misogynistic and promotes the oppression of women. However, deeper exploration of this historical context reveals a more nuanced perspective. Let's explore why the Bible may not be so oppressed towards women as some believe. So, the misunderstood verse and historical text. Many of the claims regarding the Bible's supposed misogyny stems from the verses that are often misunderstood or taken out of context. For instance, verses like 1 Timothy 2:12 says, "I do not permit women to teach or assume authority over man," are frequently cited as examples of female subjugation. However, understanding the context of this passage is essential. Paul's instructions weren't directed towards specific issues happening in the early Christian church time, particularly regarding disruptions in the public worship. This verse doesn't mean that women are barred from leadership or teaching roles in the faith. The power of women and the influence in the Bible. Throughout the Bible, we see numerous women who held prominent positions and were respected leaders. Consider Deborah, a judge and a prophet who led Israel into battle in Judges 4-5. Esther was an orphan turned into a queen who saved her people from destruction. Mary Magdalene, one of the first witnesses and testifiers of Jesus' resurrection, a pivotal event in Christian history. So in the Old Testament, laws seemed restrictive today, were designed to protect women in ancient patriarchal societies. For instance, the laws regarding marriage and inheritance may seem outdated now, but in ancient times, they protected widows and daughters who might otherwise be left in destitute. The Bible also contains numerous teachings about treating others with fairness, justice, and respect, regardless of their gender. In Galatians 3:28, there is neither male nor female, for you are all one in Christ. The role of women in the early church. In the New Testament, we see women actively participating in the early church. Phoebe, mentioned as a deacon in Romans 16, verses 1-2, and Priscilla taught Apollos, a speaker and scholar, about the way of God more accurately. These examples indicate that women are far from being silent bystanders in the church. They are active contributors and leaders, and some even say they are more sensitive to God. So, cultural misunderstandings. When the Bible is accused of being misogynistic, it's often because we're reading ancient texts through modern lens. Many of the cultural practices of ancient Israel and early Christianity were progressive for their time. For instance, the societies where women had little to no rights, biblical laws provided them with protection and dignity that many other cultures lacked. When I was growing up, I was told that women were never supposed to preach. They were supposed to be silent in the church. Look at me. I'm not being silent. Why does misogyny claim persist? The claim that the Bible is misogynistic persists because many of the teachings are difficult to interpret without understanding the cultural and historical backgrounds. Some laws and stories can be perplexed when removed from their context, leading to misunderstandings. But with careful study and considering of the time and culture in which the Bible was written, a more balance emerges, one that shows that the Bible's progressive nature regarding the treatment and value of women. So I gathered this information through reading the Bible, particularly passages in Genesis, Judges, Esther, 1 Timothy, and Romans. I also referred to several commentaries in the Bible study resources that dive into the original Hebrew and Greek text to shed light on the cultural context of the time. For example, the NIV Study Bible and the New Bible Commentary provide helpful insights on how these texts have been interpreted over the years. So, is the Bible misogynistic? No. Women were used by God every day. No, the higher-ups didn't like it when women spoke in the church. But guess what? They also didn't even want to share the Bible with you. They wanted to keep it to themselves so they would have the power. So don't always believe what you read or you hear. Look it up for yourself.